Lamar Jackson to Antonio Brown. In a different timeline, this would be juicy. I mean, it would be exactly what we needed. Now, I mean, of course, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, is Antonio Brown's cousin. So you have that as well. Lamar Jackson's current teammate, Hollywood Brown. But Lamar Jackson to Antonio Brown, something or nothing. Sarah Spain, first to you.
It's something in that if there were going to be a team that tried to get convinced of this, it would probably be the one that has Antonio Brown's family member on it, right? He might be the one most pushing to be able to say, I can control him, I can get him to come here and use all that talent. But there's so many obstacles still in the way, whether that's pending investigations, whether that's a trust in whether Antonio Brown is in a place to be playing football and be a part of a team right now. And as close as they got last year, and as well run as that team was, and as much as Harbaugh had everything schemed out correctly, the talent is tantalizing, but the risk is way too big. You could name any team in the NFL and tell me all of their wide receiver needs, and I would tell you in the end, I still think it's a bad idea.
But it's a risk leaving the house right now, Sarah.
Right. Well, that too. What are they doing? I mean, Florida needs to get its act together. I realize it's finally catching up to shelter in place, but can we get these guys a little farther?
So you question social distancing here. All right. Yeah. Frank, let me ask it to you this way. Would it make sense for the Ravens to take a flyer on Hollywood Brown's cousin, Antonio Brown?
No, it wouldn't. I mean, I look at some of the top organizations in the sport. That would be the Steelers. That would be the Patriots. It didn't work out for Antonio Brown over the last 12 months with either of those teams. To me, the Ravens have a great ownership, a terrific coach, but more importantly, they have a franchise quarterback. The quarterback was not the problem last year. Wide receivers weren't the problem last season. They had the best record in the AFC. I am not going down this road with my franchise quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I don't care how close of a relationship he has with Antonio Brown or if they're violating rules where they shouldn't be on a field right now in the first place.
All right, Woody Paige, I turn to you, a voice of reason.
Sure. First of all, in normal times, you don't want to social distance close to Antonio Brown. Why suddenly now do you want to do it? But I think that Frank and Sarah made great points. You've got a team in the Ravens that is a class operation. They've got a good coach. They've got a great situation going on there. I don't care how good Antonio Brown is, but A, do you really want him a part of your franchise? No, I think he's proven that he doesn't belong in Baltimore with the Ravens. And number two, is he that good anymore? We just saw a brief example of that last year when he was in the Miami game with the Patriots. And three, we don't even know when he can play. I mean, the NFL has said, oh, yeah, we want you back on the field as soon as possible. Yeah. So I think in those three conditions that this makes no sense other than if you want to throw to him on a practice field with his cousin who probably put this together, that's fine. But that's as far as it goes. Get no closer. Don't get within 6 feet. Don't get within 6 miles.
Woody Paige in peak form right now around the home. You had a 1, a B, and a 3. There we go. Today's win goes to Woody Paige.
Yeah, but I quickly just wanted to point out, by the way, too, and I realize this feels like years ago, and all the issues that surround these teams feel distant right now as we're dealing with everything else, and even distant compared to the other issues surrounding Antonio Brown. But this was the team that said, we're going to pray to God and ask about whether we should bring in a guy like Colin Kaepernick. If you then follow that up by bringing in a guy like Antonio Brown, who actually has multiple crimes and issues off the field and locker room disruptions and recording his coach and making it into a commercial and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I know you don't have a mute button, so I can just say optics.
I can mute it. I can still mute it. Look, you're muted. Try talking right now. You're muted. Okay. And also the Ravens have been hard and fast. They don't trust people who go into the cryo chamber with no socks on. So
right, I forgot about the socks.
In France.
Says this is a class organization. I say, I don't know. I mean, every organization is capable of signing somebody who is doesn't tick one of their boxes or ticks another box. All right. Can we end, Sarah? Is that it? Are we done? Mm-hmm. I'm still giving the win to Woody Paige. Around the hole.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.